You wrestle Steve Austin on a WCW TV taping and lose on Saturday night. Did Cornette or anyone give you any crap about that? Or is that, no, they know as a young performer you're looking for the next big opportunity?
Yeah. And look, Jim was great about it too. He never said anything, and he may have thought something, but he never said anything to me. And even if he thought something, he would be right in doing so. I could totally understand if you're giving me victories on your show, and I'm not winning on the other. I could understand that being frustrating.
You dress up as the Black Ninja and defeat your dad in a loser leaves town match. Is this your first singles match against the Bullet? After that show, you worked primarily in WCW at the time. Were you signed by WCW?
No. So I was never signed by them. I got about $350 a week for just being on standby and coming to TVs and doing jobs and whatever. So I wasn't signed. I could do anything I wanted to, like work in Smoky Mountain, like work independence. So at that time, I was just trying to get all the experience I could. And actually, during all this time, I wrestled a great deal in North Georgia Championship Wrestling with Sammy Kent. And guys who came out of there was Disco Inferno, New Jack, and those was so that was just me trying to get as much experience as I could, working as much as I possibly could.
What do you remember of their thoughts on Smoky Mountain?
Well, my brother Scott and I have been making some trips together recently, and we actually talked a lot about it. Like, look, it was some long trips up there because there wasn't nobody flying in Smoky Mountain, but we drove in those long trips, but they were some of the best times with our family. You know what I mean? And to get to travel with your family and do that and do your job and all get paid and be together, like, that's something cool and something special. So Scott and I just talked about that the other day. Like, nothing will bring a family together like riding 10 hours together. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't return to Smoky Mountain again until you leave the WWF in 1995 when you and Jeff walked out. Why was Smoky Mountain the first place to see you after you left?
Well, it was home. You know what I mean? And I kind of just covered it, but it was home for me. It was comfort zone. It was take me back to Paradise City where the grass is green, and from what I understand, the girls are pretty.
Yes.
But that was my comfort zone in Smoky Mountain. My family was there. Jim Cornette was there, who was nice to us. And You know what I mean? I went up there to the mean WWF, and they were mean to me, and they weren't. They were great to me. I just didn't know what I was doing, and I quit. So look, it was the first place. Where would you go if you ran away from work? You know what I mean? You go home, and that's where I landed.
Was anything different now that you'd been on TV?
Yeah. It was definitely different. Like, I had I had more experience for sure, and I think the trust with the companies that I worked for had kind of gone up too. Like, they knew, okay, well, this guy can do what's asked of him anyway. And so, yeah, I think I just had a little more experience, and people trusted me a little more.
Dogg, let's get back to Smoky Mountain. You'd make your return at SMW Super Bowl of Wrestling, defeating D'Lo Brown. Was it an issue with your WWF contract about working SMW?
If it was, I didn't know about it, and that I was already fired, so I figured I could do what I wanted to do. I didn't hear any different about it until I think I came back from Germany later, and they called me and said, "Hey, you want to come back?" You know what I mean? And so, right. I guess I didn't get in too bad of trouble.
You'd wrestle a few times against what we would know to be bigger stars later on in their careers, like Masha the Headbangers, Al Snow. You talked about Unabomb, Glenn Jacobs, Tommy Rich. Are these big career moments for you compared to working the Wrestlemania in the corner of Jeff, or?
Yeah, they still were to me. Like, look, if you love wrestling and you're a wrestler, like, you love what you do, man. And it doesn't matter if it's WrestleMania. Yeah, that's a much bigger payday and all that stuff. But if it's really cool and something goes really well in a little venue like Smoky Mountain venue, it feels just as cool on the ride home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just as like, holy crap, that was awesome. Because I'm a mark.